This video is going to be covering the exact process that I use to build all the systems in my 6 and 7 figure businesses, and not just how I do it, but how I train my team to do it now. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. But before we get into that, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy Smith, and I have built and scaled multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses online, and I've trained thousands of other sellers and entrepreneurs to do the same. And I'm here to make online selling simple for those that are seeking financial freedom. And one of the sticking points for many people growing and scaling their businesses is trying to create systems. Now, I actually provide a lot of systems, over 100 different systems in my Business Building Legends community for Amazon and e-commerce sellers, so that way you can just take my systems and install them. However, it's still important to know the foundations for how you create systems, why they're created a certain way, and then how you can start to make your own as you move forward in your business. Especially if you're someone just getting started, you don't even know how to make systems, then ultimately this video is here to help you, because you can do it in the course of the processes that you're actually doing in your day-to-day life, especially if you're doing things online like I do. Now, there's a couple ways that you can do it. One is free, and one does cost a little bit of money, depending on which one that you want to utilize, but this is how I do it. So very first, you want to start with creating a video. Now, I personally utilize Loom.com, which is right here, and we're going to go through this system that I've actually made and the video that I made for it. But I use Loom.com to help me capture all of my screen recordings, and then it actually creates the video transcription for me. But if you don't have money to pay for a Loom subscription, then what you can do is you can actually use Zoom. You can use the free Zoom account that you have, and you can utilize a free audio transcription. Now, I use the Riverside transcription before. There's no limit currently to how many you can do. They may change that in the future. If you want to check this out, this is not affiliated in any way, but it's riverside.fm/transcription. You could also Google for Riverside transcription for videos. But what you can do here is you actually click on transcribe now. After you're done recording the step-by-step video process that you have for whatever system you're creating in your business, you can then just upload the personal video that you want to have transcribed. Now, if I take a look at this one, I'm just going to pull over a video. I'm going to drop it here, and it's going to start creating this. And I'm going to say I want to transcribe just video content. I am human, and then have it start transcribing. Now, it does take a little bit of time, right? So it will have to transcribe your whole entire video. Depending on how long your video is, it will take some time, but this is the free way to do it. Now, if you're using a tool like Loom, whenever you're done recording that video, you're actually going to have a summary down here for it. You're going to have the ability to share it. You're also going to have the transcript. So I could actually take this whole transcript and I could put it into ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you how I do that, because what you're trying to go from is zero systems and SOPs for your business to something that looks more like this, and something that doesn't take you hours to write out all of this data. This particular one is 5 pages. You've got every single step-by-step process. We've got pictures that were put in here, and this process is going to get you to 80% of the way. So let's go ahead and check out how you can do that. Inside of Loom, whenever we have the transcript, or whenever Riverside is done with creating its transcript, you can then just copy this whole entire transcript here, and you can utilize ChatGPT. Now, the free version of ChatGPT works fairly well for this. I actually do pay for the lowest tier of ChatGPT, and basically what you want to tell it is create for me a step-by-step written process that anyone can follow based on the below video transcript. Don't miss any details. Provide a title, scope, resources, and the step-by-step process. And then I put here video transcript, so it knows when I am adding that in, and I'll just paste that entire video transcript here. Now, whenever I do that, you'll see it'll take this 7-minute video that I had, and it's going to start building out that written process for me with the title, what I should call it, and ultimately it's going to give me the scope, the resources that are needed to actually go through this process, and then it's going to do the step-by-step process based on what was said on that video. This takes very little time. Now, the reason that I like this is because it gives me the ability to take out 80% of the work of creating a system. I used to sit down, write them out step by step, create my little screenshots, and then have to go through and do it all myself and hope that it made sense. Instead, now I can just record a video, either free on Zoom or some other video recording software, or I personally use Loom.com to do that for me, and I can have that video basically feed into this transcription that then is made into my system for my actual business. So then I can take this information, I can copy it, I can put it into a Google Doc similar to this, and then what I do at that point is I actually read through it to make sure that it makes sense, okay? And then I will add any screenshots that are applicable. So there is some extra steps if you do have screenshots that you want people to be able to see and point and click so they know exactly what they're going to be clicking on. And this is the way that you can do that. You'd have to do that more manually. There are some tools out there, like I believe Scribe is one of them. I may be wrong on that, but there are tools that can help you with actually building out your systems, and it will do the screen capture for you. But I've never found that it actually builds it the way that I'd like it to be. And so personally, I like to use videos. You don't even have to put your face on the video. You just talk into a microphone, click on something so that way people can see what you're doing. And then you take the transcription, put it into ChatGPT with that exact prompt, and it builds out fairly good step-by-step process with some optional tips, some outcome that you would have. And now I can copy this and put it into a Google Doc, and then just make sure that it makes sense and add any images from there. Now, what I actually do now in my business is I'll record a video for something that needs to be done, and I'll give it to a virtual assistant that has this whole entire process. She'll then take that information, she'll put it into ChatGPT, she'll build out the system for me, she'll go through and take all of the screenshots for my businesses, and she can put that into the SOP. So that way, not just her, but anyone else can follow them. And what that also does is it trains my team, it ensures that they can follow the SOP and the process, and I don't have to do all of that additional work for every system. Now, there are some cases where I decide to do that myself, but for the majority of them, I don't need to do this anymore because it's a simple process of just recording a simple video and giving it to somebody that then takes the transcription and does all of this stuff for you. Now, you can see in my Evergreen Sourcing System program, for instance, which trains sellers, Amazon sellers, how to source products. There's over 60 different systems in this particular operations manual that I have. And all of them come out to basically looking very similar because you need a system and a process that looks very similar between all of the different documents. So that way you can train people on how to do these things. But the majority of them were done by me sourcing and showing how I source in a particular way, then getting the transcript uploaded into ChatGPT, and then having those revisions made and those screenshots taken. So that way I could train anyone that I wanted, including hundreds to thousands of sellers, on how to source products for Amazon FBA when they may not know all of the different ways to do it. And so that's why we have so many different systems here, sellers to be able to follow. But this is how you can do it fairly quickly. You don't have to do all of the writing. You don't have to take all the screenshots, especially if you have a virtual assistant. You can just simply film a video in the course of your day. If you're doing something with the Facebook, or you're doing something with a software tool, or you're doing something like a YouTube video, right? I could take this YouTube video and make it an SOP if I wanted, but we could take this information in the course of me doing the day-to-day operations, and then it's going to build out the system, the written system for me. Now, why are written systems important? I want to give you some information there too, because a lot of times early on in my career, I started with just videos, and I would just make the videos and give them to my team. Problem is, sometimes software changes, sometimes the process changes, and it's just one sentence or one screenshot that needs to change. And if you only have a video, you have to redo the entire video. If you make them written up front, then in the future, you don't have to redo a whole video. You can just go to whatever system you want. I could delete this picture and put a new picture in, or I could change out, instead of click on data to offers, I could say click on data to whatever it is, right? And so it's easier to change if you're making written systems. This is how you can start to build them out one by one fairly easily. If you're doing something on a repetitive basis in your business, you're trying to scale your business to 7 figures and beyond, you need to have systems to do that. That's why I provide so many in my Business Building Legends community. But for those of you that don't want to join the Legends community, or you don't even qualify for it, or it's not something that even applies for you, that's where you're going to need to be able to learn how to build these systems in your business. And this is a very simple process that takes just a few minutes. You can see this particular video is only 7 minutes long of me going through it. And then I have a whole written process that not just myself that I can follow, my team members can follow, and in particular, the people that go through the Evergreen Sourcing System program for Amazon sourcing, they can follow it too. And that's why we train on systems. Systems are very important. What separates out the people that are hobbyists in their business versus the people that will succeed long term. Now you can see if we go back here, this is actually ready. So I could take this transcription from Riverside. This was for, I believe, a YouTube video that I created about 15 minutes long. I could copy this, and then I could just simply go over here and do the same exact process with this prompt of create for me a step-by-step written process that anyone can follow based on the below video transcript. Don't miss any details. Provide a title, scope, resources, and the step-by-step process, and then you paste in that video transcript there. I love the free ways to do it with either free ChatGPT and free Riverside, or utilizing Loom. Now, as an aside, Loom does also have the ability, if I go back here, to have it create an SOP for me. So I could click on document document, and it will actually do this based on the subscription plan that I pay for. Again, this isn't sponsored by them in any way. You can see SOPs here, and they do also give you screenshots. They're not going to be perfect, and so that's the, this says use the product finder tool, but it's actually on a source website. It's not on the right one. So I personally recommend still going through, double checking it, but this can get you pretty far along. Personally though, the ChatGPT method still works best for me. Hopefully they've added these screenshots recently, and so hopefully it will get even better with Loom moving forward. But you can also click on step by step. You can click on PR description, QA steps if you do any kind of quality assurance or code documents. All of that kind of stuff is in here. And so you've got the ability to do that with Loom, or you can do it completely free. Now, if you have any questions on that, please post them down below. Ultimately, I want to make sure to help you in how you can start building systems for your business, because this is how I've built all the systems in my 6- and 7-figure businesses, multiple different businesses that I run, and I train people to do it this way. Now, if you want any free training for Amazon FBA, for those of you that are Amazon sellers, head over to askjimmysmith.com/free training. I hope this video helped you and blessed you, and have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.